People say football never changes.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
We see it differently.
What's going on, guys? And it's that time of the year again. EA have just released a teaser trailer for their new installment of the FIFA franchise. So in this video, of course, EA has teased us with a few of the additions to the new game. And my objective here is really just to go through some of the things that some of you may have missed, and also speak a bit more about the things that are blatantly obvious to us. So the first little clip we see after all the players have the little kicking sequence in the beginning of the video is the Chelsea tunnels. So finally we get to have a view of the tunnels in the game, adding that little bit of authenticity and realism to the game. Really great to have this feature in the game. It's a feature that I've been wanting in a FIFA game for quite some time now. You would imagine with the newer consoles coming out, the Xbox One and PS4, improved computer graphics, that EA would have implemented this a lot sooner. But I suppose they had their reasons for that, and I guess the Frostbite engine now allows them to expand the game beyond what they could have before. Hopefully Tunnel gets utilized correctly, you know, for pre-game cutscenes or manager mode cutscenes. Pretty much what they do in the NBA 2K series, where they have players speaking with your player in different cutscenes about the game and things related to the story. Knowing EA, there's probably only one tunnel model which will change color according to the team emblem and color scheme of the team. It's not that much of an issue, to be honest, but it would be nice for them to have integrated custom tunnels specific to each stadium. And moving on to the next screenshot we have is of Harry Kane seemingly doing some sort of motion capture scene. Hopefully this will be a new feature for career mode. I'm not too sure how many of you have played NBA 2K before, but they have quite a few players who speak to one another and speak to your player within the cutscenes, and it's really cool feature to have in a game, especially when you're talking about a specific person's career. This could be Harry Kane acting out some sort of scene for manager mode or your player career mode, or maybe he was just a model for it and they'll just be using his facial expressions, but it does seem like he is going to be featuring in a scene for something in the game. Not too sure how many of you have watched the movie Planet of the Apes, where they utilized this sort of thing, having motion capture and a camera looking at the facial expressions of the actor to add a little bit of authenticity and realism to the stuff. And this alone was really promising to me, because it sort of paves the way for speculation that there could be a new and improved manager mode with player sequences and scenes, cutscenes. You know, will make the game feel a lot more real. Something that FIFA has been missing over the years, especially if someone has played a game such as NBA 2K15 or 16, where they have scenes with people interacting with the players, and it just adds a lot of emotion to the story. And hopefully this is the case with this little Harry Kane sequence we see over here. Hopefully they just got a whole bunch of the top players from each team to sort of act out a scene for your player career character that you'll be using in the game. It's also a possibility that Harry Kane is just the model for the motion capture, and in fact they would just overlay his face with whatever face is to be used in that specific scene. We don't know. It doesn't seem like his face is being used as a model though, because normally he would have the lines or the balls on it. It looks like they're actually recording his facial expressions, which is really cool. The next little clip is a clip from the inside of the Manchester United dressing room. This just fuels speculation that there will be a new and improved career mode, whether it be manager mode or play career mode in the new FIFA. And I hope again this is utilized correctly with actual cutscenes and stuff in that little area, because I would hate for it to just be the same thing that we'll see over and over again. EA have this tendency of repeating new features to the point where they don't feel that new after 1 week of playing anymore. Hopefully they really do add some fresh features to their career mode that would improve its overall playing experience. That as a whole would just improve the entire manage mode game mode and add longevity to people's playing times, and it would just make it a lot nicer to play. It would be nice if EA have included at least 5 or 6 different dressing room models. I would hate for things just to be redundant when they finally seem to have put so much work into a FIFA game. The next little clip is wow, milliseconds short, but it's of 3 people doing some sort of motion capture sequence. Not much to say about that. Hopefully there's some really cool celebrations coming into the new FIFA. Don't get me wrong, I really liked the new celebrations they added into FIFA 16, but they just became really old real fast. I mean, you run to the corner flag like 5 times and you've seen all the celebrations that the player does by himself, or you run to substitute 6 times and you've seen all the celebrations that can happen. It would be nice for them to add a lot more emotion into the game. I mean, there are times where you can score a 90th minute win and your players won't celebrate with much conviction. They will just sort of clap, slide on the knees, no nice animation or sequence that happens. It's just one player who slides on the knees and holds his arms out and the game cuts off into the replay. Emotion is an extremely vital part of football. It's one of the reasons why it's one of the most watched sports in the world, if not the most watched sport in the world. It's incredibly emotional. It invokes all your feelings, and that really needs to transcribe to the players on the pitch. I'm pretty sure now with the new Frostbite engine, EA have the means to create a lot more emotive scenes with players, and hopefully they integrate this into the new FIFA. And of course, this screenshot being the most obvious of them all, I would assume, that is definitely Jose Mourinho standing over the touchline there at Old Trafford, looking towards the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. Hopefully this just means EA is finally going to give us manager emotions and custom manager faces, as opposed to that normal random bald guy who stands on the side of the pitch every single game. It would be also nice if one is able to customize their manager before their manager mode, and it actually stays like that, because there have been times in FIFA 16 where you would create a manager and at the beginning of the next season he would look nothing like the one you used the season before, even though when you made him, you made his skin color black. And another thing that I haven't seen many people speak about is the fact that Jose Mourinho is the voice for the trailer. The catchphrase, "People say football never changes." I think that's EA just telling us we keep saying that their game hasn't changed in a way. It may seem a bit far-fetched, but it could just be another way for EA to come out and say that this FIFA is going to be extremely different and new and improved from the previous ones released. And also another thing, that last year's phrase was "play beautiful," and they used Pele as the voice for the trailer. The manner in which Pele played football was extremely beautiful and eye-catching. Therefore, they used him to help market their new features for the game, which was the whole build-up play. They got a guy who played beautiful football to speak about how FIFA will now have the ability to allow its players to play beautiful football. And now hopefully they'll have a manager to prove the fact that now in the new FIFA you get to play a new and improved manager mode. To me, all of this just ties up together, and all of this just comes together and makes it possible for a newly improved FIFA to come along. It would be unfair for them to tease us with Jose Mourinho, but all they've changed is a game engine. And here's another screenshot of a player, the player being Eden Hazard, and he seems to be doing some sort of motion capture sequence, same as Harry Kane. Hopefully this was a trend. Hopefully they got a whole bunch of players to come in and do some motion capture for awesome sequences and awesome cutscenes for the game. Extremely exciting stuff. As you can see, the hooks for the kits no longer have kits on them. Of course, the player is now ready to go out, and this probably means that there could be sequences where the players are getting ready before the game. In particular, the player you'll be using for your My Player career mode. Here again, we get to see the lovely ambient occlusion that comes with the Frostbite engine, and Marco Reus looking into the crowd, possibly after scoring a goal. But another thing to notice is that he in fact has the tattoo on his left arm. Finally EA have included more than just one tattoo. The only person who had a tattoo other than the players that had them on their necks was Lionel Messi. Of course, with him being the cover star, they had to make him as authentic as possible. Hopefully that's not the case this year, that only Marco Reus, James Rodriguez get to have their tattoos on their arms. It will be great for us to finally have the opportunity to put tattoos on maybe created players. That customization that we've all been wanting over the years for a FIFA game, this could be the one to deliver it. The next screenshot I'll look at is the one of James Rodriguez. Again, EA showcasing the incredible graphics of the game, but I'm not too sure if anybody noticed on James's left arm, you can also notice his tattoo, so that's another player who has a tattoo in the game. Moving on to the sequence that shows a player walking out the tunnel at Old Trafford. Some people have said that this is Anthony Martial, but we can definitely look a bit closer and realize that it's not. This is most probably a created player. Looking at the letters, I mean, maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but it does look like that could be a hunter of sorts. But with the screenshot, this could mean that we could have, again, walking out sequences of our created players when maybe their professional debuts, or when they've just joined a new club. Really looking forward to what EA will show us come Sunday the 12th of June. And of course the next one is of Eden Hazard sitting in the dressing room looking up and looking focused for the game. Not much to say about that besides just how brilliant the graphics look. But one thing some people may have missed is if you look closely at the disclaimer at the bottom of the screen, that area reads captured in game, not all scenes may appear in final product. That is extremely disappointing. I mean, why wouldn't all scenes appear in final product? Everything there seems perfect to have in the game, and it would be a major pity if they were to remove any of the newly added features or sequences that we were planning on putting into the game. Maybe I'm looking too into it, but hopefully this means nothing. And come September 29th, 2016, we'll be thoroughly impressed with the new installment of FIFA. Okay, great. That's all I could really decipher from this video. I mean, it's only 55 seconds. Thanks for watching and see you next time.